To this video. Hold on, yo. Hold on. Make sure everything right. Volume a little too low. At a minimum. Wait, hold up. What the fuck is this? It's a stud? What the fuck is this? Dog. Who the hell is that? My fault, y'all got lost. Wait. Yeah, my fault, y'all got lost. What the fuck? Is that a stud? What the fuck is that? Ah, yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Mo. Now, I'm sorry for taking that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just like my ADHD is real bad, so I get distracted real easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally had on my mind I was supposed to be starting this video. You know what I'm saying? But then I got stuck on my phone. This is the problem right here. This is always the problem. ADHD, really serious disability. Alright, so what is up, guys? It's your boy Mo. Today we react to a video called Horse Found on School Laptops. Now this video is by Farrell McGuire. We always react to this guy somehow. You know what I'm saying? I just seen this on my Explore page. My Explore page be coming in clutch. You know, with the uploads and shit. I'm not even gonna lie. So I ain't gonna lie though. No further ado. We finna get into this video because I'm excited to know, or really just curious, to what type of horrifying things can be found on a fucking school laptop. Like, school laptops, y'all don't understand how heavily monitored school laptops are. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I don't understand why a dumbass would want to, commit a crime on there or anything, or, something that would simply just get them expelled, or even worse, put under the jails. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, the principal's office is not going to be enough for you at this point. So, yeah, we finna just get into this video, though. Let's go.
November 2009. A 10th grader is called into the assistant vice principal's office shortly after arriving at school. Butterflies flutter inside him. It's clear the authority figure currently staring him down is upset over something. She accuses him of, quote, improper behavior. He doesn't know what she's talking about. The school official slides a photo across the table, asking the boy to explain it. He picks it up. It's him. In his bedroom at home. He's never seen this before. Wait, how did the school get a hold of this picture? And who even took it in the first place? This single interaction would result in a snowballing series of horrifying discoveries about the nature of this school district's student laptop program. The first case of its kind, but unfortunately, not the last. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yo, that's one thing I've always been scared of too. Even when I was like, that's one reason I had to get out of homeschool too, because I always felt like the schools were just monitoring some stuff and they were just watching me. That's always what I felt like, bro. And they even, I remember it was this one time when I was in middle school, right? And I vividly remember, like, I'm in this computer class, and sometimes when you would sneak and you would kind of play like offline games on or you would basically go on like Friv or something, or one of them little websites that you go to for the games, Pop Traffic, all that. This teacher would literally, she can see all of our fucking screens, and she listen. She will literally see all our screens, and she will be remotely controlling it. So if we was on Pop Traffic or something like that, or some other site just playing games and all that, she will literally control it from our computer and turn the shit off. And she would be like, "Oh, that's enough, all this." And I fucking hated this teacher. I fucking hated this teacher. I'm pretty sure everybody did, cause like she was just so mean and annoying for no fucking reason. Cause that's the type of shit that she really fucking did, gang. Like, y'all don't understand how terrible that shit was. Like, she really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was controlling all the computers, and I'm pretty sure they all had the ability to do that. When we had the computers, they could just remotely control it, or it was just monitored in some way. That's what I remember. And I remember during quarantine, like even when we got to take our computers home, like you now, I think that's why they disabled the guest mode. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, on guest mode, you could go on hella sites on there, bro. Like even if it was illegal at this point, like you could see like a lot of illegal shit just being on the guest joint. Like, y'all don't understand, before they took away guest mode, bro, like, dog, that was basically like my regular computer right here. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I go on stuff like that on this regular computer, but like basically you can go on, like it was just as free as this computer. Like it wouldn't give you no warning when you go into another site you're not supposed to be on, something like it wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So like when they took that joint away, now I knew something was up. But like yeah. I'm listen, I just wanna know if motherfuckers was really getting caught, you know, during quarantine and stuff like that. Like if they was really monitoring us. Cause this shit this is the exact reason why I used to be scared of these schools and them sending us computers and shit. Cause it's like, for some reason, I feel like they're watching me. I feel like they're watching me.
In this case, we need to learn about where it takes place. Our story starts 12 miles outside downtown Philadelphia, in the sleepy suburb of Lower Merion. Home to just over 63,000 residents, Lower Merion's urban landscape looks much like
mind y'all, that's where Kobe is from. Lower Merion.
As you would see in a Hollywood movie, with everything from grand Tudor and colonial revivals to menacingly large McMansions dotting the winding tree-lined residential streets. It all gives an air of money, and indeed, the people who call Lower Merion home seem to have a lot of it.
MacBook Neo. Meet Windows. From Excel to Microsoft Word, you can use any Windows app.
In 2007, the average family income for the area was $148,000, just under 3 times the national average of the United States. It's no surprise then that in the only Western country where public schooling is mostly funded on a local level, that schools in an area like Lower Merion are exceptionally well provided for, with as much as $32,000 being spent per student per year in the district. In 2009,
what?
Some of that.
What? Yo, you're fucking lying. Wait, okay. So, 32,000? When the fuck they start doing that?
In an area like Lower Merion are exceptionally well provided for, with as much as $32,000 being spent per student per year in the district.
Per student per year in the district. You gotta be one rich motherfucker going there.
In 2009, some of that money would go to a new program, one that sought to purchase laptops that students could use to complete their work in a more real-world professional
Yo, now I think about it, I don't think financial aid existed back then, did it? Cause you really gotta think about it like this. So, okay, so I'm actually starting to understand why Kobe's parents started to sell his stuff after he like graduated like a couple years later, something like that. 32,000? Yo, 32,000. You gotta think about back then the type of salaries people had. Like, his dad was an ex-NBA player, right? But you gotta think about it like this, right? He wasn't really. It was at a point where he wasn't really playing basketball no more, and Kobe was the one that was playing ball. So when he made it to the NBA, I kind of understand why they was selling like his stuff a little bit, or they really wanted money from him, cause like they did so much to get that nigga into a school like that it literally cost 32,000 per student, bro. Even back then, I'm telling you, 10,000 would even be too much. So, like anything from there, oh yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I totally understand why they started selling that stuff now. They wrong. They went right for it, But it's kind of justified though. Like they spent so much money on it. Like at some point they went broke trying to provide for their kids. Basically, that's a form of providing, bro. Y'all think Kobe was just going to school for free? Like this nigga parents wasn't just like paying his tuition for him to go there. That's really a school you gotta fucking pay for. That's crazy.
And to just enhance the academic experience overall. This was something of a trend in the late 2000s. And if you're the same age as me, you'll no doubt remember antiquated computer labs with their rows of off-white CRT monitors slowly being exchanged for carts containing racks of laptops that teachers could just wheel out for their students whenever they needed them. My memories of this time mostly consist of chunky Toshiba laptops that were somehow slower than they looked, and you could only really use them during class when the teacher would hand one to you, with the only exception being
how old is you,
out of the library to use during study hall or something. This was certainly not how it worked in Lower Merion. No, these students weren't using thick Toshibas, they were using MacBooks. Moreover, it wasn't just an in-school replacement.
Oh, that is a rich motherfucking school. Yo,
computer lab.
That's a rich ass school.
These MacBooks were distributed to students under a one-to-one program, meaning each and every student would have a single laptop that would be theirs full-time, even bringing them home with them after school. I'm sure many of you watching who are still attending school past 2015 likely remember receiving a Chromebook that you could use at home under a similar one-to-one program. But this wasn't nearly as common of a thing in the late 2000s. The Lower Merion School District was truly ahead of the curve with this. Being the trailblazers they were, the school district didn't really have any set precedents to follow when it came to policing the use and misuse of these school devices. You can keep an eye on what somebody is doing with school property in school, but how are you supposed to do that once they're at home? The Lower Merion School District is one of the most well-funded public school programs in the country, but MacBooks are expensive no matter where you live in the world, and school officials weren't just about to leave them to the mercy of their teenage owners. To potentially mitigate the issue of liability, the school district purchased a piece of software called LANREV, a systems lifecycle management software. In plain English, IT administrators can use this kind of software to manage many different computers at the same time, automatically installing software and copying and deleting data on multiple machines simultaneously. Another key part of these IT management solutions are security and tracking features, some of them amounting to purposeful spyware that logs what users are doing and then reports it back to IT administrators. LANREV in particular had a feature called TheftTrack, which was designed to help recover lost or stolen computers. When activated, TheftTrack could capture three things automatically at set time intervals: the device's IP address, a screenshot of the desktop, and a photo taken with the laptop's built-in webcam.
Yo, that's fucking illegal.
You've got to try Otter.
Shut the fuck. Yo, I was about to throw some shit at your dumb ass. Shut up. But bro, that's fucking illegal. Oh my god.
Only 10 people working for the Lower Merion School District that had the administrative access to use these features. IS coordinator Carol Cafiero and network technician Michael Perbix. In 2008, just a year before the school board handed out laptops for students to take home, Perbix would film a training video demonstrating some of the different features of LANREV, including TheftTrack. He also talks about something he describes as curtain mode, which could allow technicians to make use of all these aforementioned monitoring features secretly, without the student knowing that someone was watching them.
What the fuck?
This brings us back to November 2009. 15-year-old Blake Robbins has just been handed a photo of himself holding something in front of his face. The assistant vice principal, Lynn Matsko.
Listen, so imagine if that software got into the hands of the wrong person. And they was dead ass. They're watching, listen, because you gotta understand something like this. What if you get undressed in front of a computer and you forget the computer is open? Then what's going to happen? I'm going to say that because, like, y'all got to understand people are really that vulnerable, bro. Like, it's literally a computer. They not going to think nothing up with the computer. But then you got this weirdo watching you. And he's supposed to be like school security or something, bro. Like,
it's a pill.
Hell
Blake
no.
says it's a yellow Mike and Ike candy. She further accuses the teen of using and selling drugs, something he adamantly refutes. The angry school official goes on to tell Blake that she's been watching him, not just at school, but at home as well. She says that she's been looking through the webcam on his school laptop and that she's even been reading what he's been typing. She confidently states that she's sure he's using and selling drugs. Blake at this point is horrified, not because of Matsuko's allegations, but rather that she's been so egregiously and casually invading his privacy. That night, Matsuko would call Blake's parents, telling them everything she had spoke to their son about earlier that day. Just like Blake had, his parents asked how she had gotten this photo of Blake with the supposed pill, and Matsuko responded telling them that the school district has the ability to remotely activate any student's webcam at any time to view or copy whatever is visible, without the consent or knowledge of anyone in the camera's sight. The parents ended the call confirming that Blake had indeed just been eating a box of Lycan eggs that day, and the teen wouldn't end up facing any punishment at home or at school. But this is just the beginning of the story.
That's
2
weird.
months later in February, Blake's family would file a class action lawsuit against the school board, alleging violations of multiple civil rights laws, Digital Communications Acts, wiretapping laws, and even the Fourth Amendment. For my fellow non-Americans out there, that's the one that protects people against unreasonable search and seizures by government institutions. The suit alleged that the school board had indiscriminately remotely activated what amounted to hidden cameras in students' homes without their consent. Blake may have been the first case to spark this fire, but soon enough, it would burn much brighter than anyone had ever anticipated. For one thing, it wasn't just a single photo that Matsuko had captured of Blake. She also had pictures of him sleeping, and others that we probably shouldn't discuss on YouTube. In total, the school board had collected 4.
Y'all gotta understand, he's a fucking teenager. So I can only imagine what other stuff they literally watching this man do. And he don't even know. Oh shit. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, this is bad. Like, he's a teenager, y'all gotta understand that. So like, man, what the fuck?
400 hidden camera photos. Soon enough, a second student would file a similar lawsuit against the school district, Jalil Hassan. I'll admit, this one is quite a bit more disturbing. Matsuko had been spying on Blake to find some reason to get him in trouble, but internal school emails revealed that multiple district employees have been taking photos with Jalil's webcam for entertainment purposes, with one employee describing the student's home life as a soap opera. Another employee would respond to that stating, quote,
"I know. I love it."
The school board would state that they had only remotely activated student webcams a total of 42 times over 14 months, but that figure would soon grow astronomically. By April 2010, just 2 months after Blake's parents initially filed their lawsuit, the school board would admit to taking a total of 30,000 hidden camera photos over the previous 2 years, with only 2 members of staff having the administrative power to activate.
Oh yeah, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. Y'all are better off. Look, if you still in high school, anything like that, college, if they giving you laptops, bro, you better off using the laptops that you buy, cause this shit is crazy. You still can't trust them to this day, cause you never know. They could be watching you, but you don't know. If you don't know, you can't file a lawsuit. Oh damn! If you don't know that, or you don't have no knowledge of it, you can't file a lawsuit, bro, if you don't find out.
So
they use that to their advantage.
And Mike Perbix and Carol Caffario would both be placed on administrative leave while the FBI began a criminal investigation. Carol, the IS coordinator, would invoke her Fifth Amendment right.
You my mans, she feel like she could be a pet a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. She look like she could be secretly doing stuff with the little high schoolers and shit. I don't know.
And refused to answer questions during her deposition. Something
y'all know what those type of teachers look like too, gang.
Looked bad.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain.
Okay, shut the fuck up, okay? Shut up.
In a subsequent court filing, the same lawyer would argue that Blake had, quote, no legitimate expectation of privacy. They alleged that the student had failed to pay an insurance fee on his laptop and had a history of damaging school property. In October of that year, the school board would ultimately agree to a $610,000 settlement for both Blake and Jalil's cases.
Damn.
A federal judge would order the school board to halt all remote webcam monitoring. The FBI, however, would not file any criminal charges, stating there wasn't any evidence that could establish a criminal intent beyond a reasonable doubt, a ruling that the school board was reportedly very pleased with. Regardless of the outcome, this whole debacle proved to be a cautionary tale for the wider public about the nature of school laptops. Dystopian invasions of privacy by state institutions isn't really what people are likely expecting when it comes to children's academic devices, but it does make sense when you think about it. A school laptop isn't very different from a work laptop. I'm sure anybody watching this video who has a work laptop fully expects it to be chock full of tracking software of all kinds. Maybe not secret webcam recording software, but then again, I'm sure many of you put a little sticker over your webcam when you're not using it. When I had a work laptop, I didn't use it for anything personal. I was aware of the nature of IT device management. I knew that if I had some problem with my computer, an IT technician could easily remote desktop into it without my permission. Because I was aware, I can make it
crazy, bro. You can't even escape even when you're getting paid for this shit.
Privacy risk a work computer can pose. But how many high school students do you think have that sort of knowledge? Or middle school students, or primary school students for that matter? I certainly didn't when I was younger. Moreover, most school employees just kind of expect students to treat their devices horribly, and they likely see it as within their best interest to track as much data as they can in the event a student decides to short-circuit their Chromebook for fun or something. That was an actual TikTok trend, by the way. Let's be clear though, school laptops are not work computers, and students aren't employees. Schools also aren't employers, they're state institutions, and the idea of government employees spying on children in their homes without parental consent is something that's going to sound horrible no matter how you spin it.
Y'all gotta understand, the reason that's weird is because these is teenagers. They're going through all types of stages in life and growing up and all that. You know what I'm saying? So you never know what they could really be doing on their computers. You know what I mean? So it's like, and plus, yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I remember when I was a teenager again, like it's just all types of stuff you would kind of basically just go through trying to just, like, you would just really get curious. Like, I don't mean like, listen, I don't mean like looking at other, like, the little websites and shit. I'm not talking about shit like that. I'm talking about, like, you never know what the search history might look like. Anything. Like, they're literal teenagers. Teenagers go through a fucking phase, my nigga. Like, they're literally learning about life damn near. So you never know what type of questions they searching up on Google, what type of stuff they watching. Like, it could be a lot of stuff in the computer that they are doing, and you are literally watching them. And then some people don't even know they're being recorded. Some people don't know. Like, some people probably dead ass getting undressed in front of their laptops or anything. Y'all just watching them. It's always the white people, bro. They just feel like they so entitled.
Marion was far from the end of the story. The incident revolving around the Lower Merion School Board would go on to be known to the public as Webcam Gate, and it would garner a massive amount of attention, leading to several other school boards sunsetting their own IT security solutions that allowed employees to activate student webcams before they too faced class action lawsuits. You have to remember though, this is still the early days of school laptop programs. As the 2010s rolled on, one-to-one school computer programs would start to become ever more common, especially with the introduction of a particular category of low-cost laptop, the Chromebook. If you were born in the 2000s, there's a good chance you were given a Chromebook at some point by your school. These devices run something called Chrome OS, a sandboxed Linux-based operating system that's mostly designed to run Google Web Apps. The locked down and inflexible nature of these devices, combined with their low cost, made them a natural choice for school boards that wanted to try their hand at assigning their students a permanent school device that they could take home with them. And let's not lose sight of the bigger picture, these programs have helped many students in rural and low-income areas who wouldn't otherwise have access to a computer to use for their schoolwork. The whole idea of giving students personal laptops was to make education more equitable, but in execution, it hasn't exactly maintained this sense of idealism. The consequences of one-to-one Chromebook programs has been immense. The sandbox nature of the software has led to younger people not learning essential computer skills like file management, and you can find countless teachers on the internet commiserating about students that lack the patience and intuition to perform basic troubleshooting when they run into software problems. Of course, we can't forget about the horrible fates that often befall these cheap academic devices. Go on the tech support Gore subreddit and you can see the insane conditions some of these Chromebooks get returned in, with some of them even being completely obliterated. Look, everybody knows that students treat Chromebooks badly. What I don't see talking
that
about
don't mean watch them though, because what the fuck is that gonna do? If they already messing up the computer and you seeing it, how the fuck is you gonna do something about it? You're not there. You don't know where they live. Actually, you probably do know where they live, but it's like you ain't gonna get there in time and they already destroyed the fucking computer. You only got proof they destroyed it, my nigga. So it's like at the end of the school year, if they return it and it's broken as shit, okay, there's your proof right there. You ain't gonna get no. You literally can get the same proof just looking through the webcam. So what would be the point of doing all that, bro? Like you want to stop it. Like, yeah, bro, that's dumb.
Schools have on these devices, and the
just because motherfuckers doing shit like this to their computer, don't mean you need to watch them through their webcam. Because what the fuck are you going to do through a webcam? What the fuck are you going to do through a webcam? You can't come through the computer and stop them from doing. No, nigga. Like if they break it, they just break the fucking computer. You can't do shit about that. You probably only gonna get proof that they broke it though. That's that.
Webcam monitoring may have become a taboo, but schools definitely didn't stop finding other ways to...
Amazon Prime Spy High doc series follows Laura Marion's web game.
Surveil what students were doing on their laptops and Chromebooks. There's an entire sector of school safety companies that school boards contract to scan student devices for any sort of alarming communications, supposedly in the name of helping at-risk kids. Gaggle is one of these companies. They started off by selling a service that can scan students' emails and documents for certain keywords related to bullying and drugs. But as the years rolled by, and especially as AI found its way into every tech product, Gaggle too would make use of this new technology to supercharge their surveillance. By the mid-2020s, they were keeping tabs on almost 6 million students across 1,500 school districts, using techniques that would fit perfectly in the world of 1984. Basically, every piece of text that pops up on the screen of a student's Chromebook gets scanned for flagged keywords, and an AI system will perform a sentiment analysis to flag any phrases that are communicating flagged ideas or information. Again, this is all done in the name of student safety. Everything gets logged in real time without the student's knowledge. The software even incorporates ODR to copy text from images and videos that appear on the screen. There is no getting around.
Yo, I'm happy I'm out of school. This shit is wild.
If anything gets flagged by the AI, it then gets passed off to a human employee for review, who are supposed to assess the context of these reports and toss out false positives, such as raunchy song lyrics and passages from literature. If the employee does approve a report, however, it then gets passed off to school officials, and sometimes they even go directly to law enforcement. In 2022, the Center for Democracy and Technology would run a national survey gathering data from teachers, parents, and students about these surveillance systems, and the results were disturbing. While these companies and school boards claim to keep tabs on their students' digital activities in the name of their safety, the survey found that 78% of teachers said students were mostly flagged for disciplinary violations, just like Blake Robbins was all the way back in 2010. Only 54% of teachers said that they had seen this monitoring lead to students getting referred to counseling. Even worse, Gaggle's keyword list had historically contained the terms gay and lesbian, leading to cases of still closeted students getting outed because school employees got a glimpse into their private life through their Chromebook. 13% of students who responded to the survey said that either they
what y'all be watching on these
knew.
computers, bro? What the
Even
fuck?
worse, Gaggle's keyword list had historically contained the terms gay and lesbian, leading to cases of still closeted students getting outed.
Yo, niggas is getting caught watching gay porn. Yo, that's crazy.
Because school employees got a glimpse into their private life through their Chromebook. 13% of students who responded to the survey said that
what
or
does say
someone
happen to
they
these
knew.
kids though?
15% of students had historically contained
Wait,
the
what
terms
does say happen
gay
to these
and
kids?
lesbian, leading to cases of
A student was allegedly outed to their parents without their knowledge by their school's computer software. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
still closeted students.
God is good, ain't he? Cause, bro, I'm telling you right here, bro. These type of people deserve for stuff like that to happen. What type of stuff are you searching up on your computer, my nigga? You deserve this, bro. You asked for it.
Outed because school employees got a glimpse into their private life through their Chromebook. 13% of students who responded to the survey said that either they or someone they knew were outed as a result
Listen, they
of
probably not
Chromebook's
gonna have the parents on their side either. Y'all gotta understand something like that. The kids is definitely not gonna have the parents on their side either.
surveillance.
Do you support Israel and the Jewish people? Now, more than ever, Israel needs committed friends around the world to voice their support in her struggle for peace and security, especially.
What the fuck? Yo, get out of here, gang. What the
In 2023, a Tennessee
What's
8th
wrong with
grader
them?
made an offensive joke while chatting online with her classmates in a private group chat on her Chromebook. Gaggle flagged the interaction, and within a couple hours, police arrived at her school and put her under arrest. She was interrogated, subject to a humiliating search, and spent the night in a jail cell. She'd end up getting sentenced to 8 weeks house arrest, with her family maintaining that the remarks that triggered this whole thing were simply a joke made in poor taste by a child, only intended to be shared with a couple of her friends. A 2025 class action lawsuit by students in Lawrence, Kansas, characterized the service offered by Gaggle as a, quote, sweeping suspicionless monitoring program, something that violated their First and Fourth Amendment rights. Look, I'm sure you can tell by my tone in this video exactly what I think of all this. I'm not going to tell you what you should think. I'm sure these companies have helped some students as well. Regardless though, you can't argue against the importance for parents and students to be aware of the nature of modern school computers. For students watching this, the Chromebook or iPad or laptop might be in your possession, but make no mistake, it is very much not yours. If you wouldn't say it out loud directly to your teacher or principal, you absolutely should not write it in your Chromebook. It's unfortunate, but you have to have the expectation that everything going into these machines is being read by somebody. For parents watching, if your child has some sort of school device, have a discussion with them about it. It's important for them to make the distinction between a truly personal device that they fully own themselves and one that's merely been loaned to them by a private company or an institution. They might not always have your child's best interests at heart. That was certainly the case for Blake Rollins and Jaleel Hassan. I was lucky enough to grow up during a time when this just wasn't really much of a problem. Though, maybe if I was born in a certain wealthy Philadelphia suburb, that might not have been the case. Guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Subscribe if...
Yo, I'm gonna say this, bro. Like, anytime I've had a school computer that deadass belonged to, like, K-12, Agora, something like that. Because them, like, listen, any of these cyber schools, anything, right? I never felt like the computer was truly mine. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you get on there, you would have to download, like, you know what I'm saying, different tech joints. So, like, you would know that nobody, like, you would kind of feel a little bit safer, and you would think, okay, nobody's watching me. You know what I mean? And as weird as it sounds, like, seriously, that's really, like, I've always felt like that when I was younger about the school computer. I was like, what if it's a motherfucker watching me through this shit? And then I would suddenly start demoing, like, bro, I don't know what you call them Jones game, but, like, man, I listen, I used to just get rid of a lot of stuff through the computer fast, like, literally. Because, like, you don't want nobody knowing your private life, what you searching up, anything like that. Even if it's like, something that's not alarming, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, anything besides the school stuff that you do on the computer, they do. Listen, I've always had that feeling that they were watching me. But who knows, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to y'all, be safe out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm not at school no more, because this is crazy. They might actually spin back around for that shit too. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie though. We bipping, y'all stay safe out there. Make sure computers is y'all's for y'all doing stuff that these people be doing. You know what I'm saying? Make sure computers is actually yours and it belongs to you. We're out. We bipping. It's your boy Moo. I'll talk to y'all later, you know what I'm saying?